Hi, my name is Stephanie Howard. I am 33 years old and I live in Kitsikooklop, BC with my mother. Uh, Today is January 1st, so Happy New Year to everybody. If there's anything that I learned through this life is that a lot of our issues go on in the mind. And whatever we're facing, whatever we're pondering over, why do we keep it to ourselves? Why don't we start asking questions? And I don't know, it's like when we're younger, we are supposed to learn our environment. We learn our environment through those who look after us. And unfortunately, this is where I believe there's a big misconception as to really what goes on reserve back in the day. I don't know, I used to be a nurse, I used to be an LPN, and from there I worked at the old age home in Smithers, and what I learned from there is that there was no real genuine contact. It was just like give pills and move somebody every 2 hours, or I don't know what. I didn't really appreciate how a lot of the elders were treated. And it wasn't bad, but they deserved better care than what they received from what I witnessed. I guess in a way it did make me sad, and I wanted to be more. I wanted to be. So an opportunity came up, and I started working for Kids on Health Society in Hazelton, and I started working in Kispiox, and I started doing I was a community health liaison for the community health nurse for the elders. So I did the home visits. I made sure their charts were up to date, and pretty much like wellness visits, right? And it was a real honor for me to like at first I was scared, but once I got into the homes and I just started asking questions, I was just in my own bliss. I just asked them a question about their past or a story, or I shared some of mine, and what I realized what I was good at is building rapport. I was able to get people's trust in a short amount of time. And it was just being real with who I am. And I guess growing up, it is hard to build trust in other people because it was a process. Because, like for me, male energies, that was the last thing I learned. That was probably last year, that male energies had a big impact on my perception, my reality, and I didn't even know about it. So once I realized that, well, I have nothing to fear, right? So, like, this person's not going to hurt me. So just making that conscious awareness, I was able just to relax and more be myself and just kind of say what I think. He's a very dear friend of mine who I learned a lot of. So his name was Ed Wright Jr., and he's an owl. He's a Gooksen, just not Gooksen, but an owl, just like I am. And so I believe that working with the elders was a teaching tool that carried on with me as to how I should be talking to people younger and younger. And it's not like I intentionally just try to go on this mission just to see what's really going on, but just to hear what people have to say. And I don't know, what came up was like it was between us, but it's also a reminder of really what we hold in, what we keep in for ourselves, and it's not unnecessary baggage, but without counseling back then, just imagine what that could have done for our future had we received counseling sooner. It's like going through this whole life of trying to figure things out on ourselves. And right now, more than anything, making ourselves available for people who are just having a hard time. We are supposed to guide our younger children, and here we are lost in our head. Just it's like we're in this wheel, like in this little hamster wheel, and we're going and we're going and we're going, but yet it's like we all gotta step back, stop everything that we're doing. What are we feeding into? What are we thinking about during the day? And are we just focused on just, I don't know, it's like getting up as soon as we get up. I find that praying helps. So just as soon as we wake up, just kind of have that connection with God right away. And it's to keep ourselves humble and keep focused of what we should be doing. So I believe that once we are like living in our heads, we don't see the outside world outside of us. So being better citizens, being a part of a community, we're not afraid to look outside of ourselves to pay attention. I keep hearing this saying, like, haggly wins, like, walk slow. So bringing back the elder teachings that I was taught and applying them, it's not hard to do, but it's kind of hard just to kind of be a certain way and then just kind of get stopped, get halted by somebody else who just doesn't believe what I believe, and I don't know, who doesn't see. So I feel like no matter what we do, we get halted by our progress, by other people. I know everybody has an idea of what we should be doing. Everybody has their opinions or their judgments or even just a look. Just like some people just give you a look and it's just like, it just reminds you of all the shit that you done, and it's just like, hey, that was the past. That's why I'm changing today. It's because I don't want to be that person anymore. So it takes a lot just to kind of get to the worst and be the worst out in somebody where it's just like, yeah, I don't want to be that person. So I believe that if we get back to our old ways, our elders guide us, we can help somebody further, like when they're younger, and help their future by at least guiding them in another way. So those are the people that helped me. They were my guardian angels, and they sent me on a different path where I could have went this way, and I went off this way. And in a way, I was always guided, right? I was always guided. And I know there's always a little voice that was in me that just said, keep going, or don't give up, don't. So I don't know, it's like my mind was calm enough. I was always seeking, I was always looking. But now that I'm still and reflecting my whole life, it's, what if we were to bring back our ways, our culture? We bring back the longhouse. Because you know what, like no business should be carried out without everybody in the house present. There's too much secrecy behind closed doors, people doing business deals when not even consulting the whole family. It's we have this amazing culture, feast system, names, chiefs, territories. So like over a year ago, I was at Bell 2 and I just remember crying, and I just cried. I never cried like that, and it just flowed tears is flowing, and I'm like, why am I crying? And the little voice just kind of said, you're weeping. So I just let it flow, and after that, I was more focused on Mother Nature. I was focused on just kind of seeing, if we carry on at this rate, all our resources will be depleted, and we are still poor. We are, as a Gitxsan Nation, as Aboriginal people, we are still poor. And I don't like using the word poor because that means that it is accepting it, but really it is. Like a long time ago, like I remember my dad and them all working at a lumber yard just outside Kitskookla here, and once they got all that they needed, guess what? They shut down that mill. So we had a lot of people who had credit, and I don't know, it created a system of stress, like trying to pay these bills, trying to have a way of life when I don't know, it's like us Aboriginal people have been used for far too long, and I see that if we all pull together now, and unite as reserves, we can have better control of all our resources. Bruce Johnson was my mentor, and he asked me a question, and he's like, I have this big piece of land, how should we use it? So I was thinking about so many different ways of it was recommended to me by Brandon that having separate camps, fish camp here, different kind of camp here, but it's all one, right? And just like Beatrice Rabeau, she has a camp for kids, and it's same concept, but it each has a purpose. It works together. And then I was even thinking we should have our own hospital. We have enough people. Let's making this one place that he has their land and just make it into an oasis where it's a safe haven to get better, a wellness facility, because detoxifying from all the sugar and all the alcohol and getting our bodies back into a natural state of being is so important, because what we feed our bodies and how we treat our bodies, the central nervous system, our bodies have to detoxify, so our liver, so all the pills that we take, I don't know, it's living life so fast, it's almost like take this, do this. I'm just like a robot, right? And I'm just like, I realized, you know what, it doesn't actually serve me. It's just like, well, what does Steffanie want? So that's when I started asking myself that, and realizing that I was feeding into this very system that is not ours. We are not white people. Making the reserves a much better, safer place for our people to come back, so that way we can bring what we learned out there. So all our training, like I was a nurse, and we have social workers, we have lawyers, we have people in the schools. Like I spoke to this one lady, and I told her that it would be amazing to have our own school to bring back our own culture. And we teach our kids everything that we know now, because our elders are dying off. So we are at a very critical time frame in our lives, all of our lives, and it's making the best of this situation to pull together and remind each other our real purpose. And it's seeing our ancestors did their lives, may their lives not be in vain, right? Because our elders, I read books a long time ago from like 1900s, and the chiefs talking about their land and why they're fighting for it. And you know what, we ended up losing that battle, and those strong-spirited ones, they ended up dying. So, and when you really think about the Highway of 16, we are women, we are Aboriginal women, we're a matriarch, matrilineal society. So these women whose lives were taken too soon, just imagine who they could have been now, or just imagine who they were then, that they had so much potential and so much light that they could have influenced a lot of people around them. So I believe that if we can pull together, we can create this beautiful system that is built around us. Because right now, those that go to jail, they aren't really learning anything. If anything, they're just put into the shark tank of other bigger fish who really are prejudiced, racist, and you know what? Like, I'm just thinking about my cousin Clayton. Like, he was wrongfully accused, and when he came out, he was totally different, and he ended up committing suicide later on. And I just believe that's where we're failing our children. We correct the behaviors. If had we been a stronger family, just thinking of my family, my mom has never had all her children home. We've never been home for big gatherings. We've always been doing our own thing, and I believe it's our abuse that really kind of kept us running, right? We had to learn how to survive, so we know how to be the person we need to be in the moment we need to be it, so that way we can protect ourselves. So when I was in that state, there was a lot of things that I had to do that I wasn't very proud of. But I got myself out of that situation completely, and I just pulled back, and I didn't like that feeling of whine, or I didn't like that feeling of, I don't know, not being true to myself. And so doing the right thing for me over the years is not easy, especially when everybody else is kind of not. So I'm not saying everybody's bad, but it's like when we do something wrong, it's like asking for forgiveness, because that's what I had to learn how. That's what I started doing is, yeah, I just asked for forgiveness, and for all the people that I hurt, making amends helped me, because I don't know, I realized I was burning bridges, and you know what, in a way it's like everybody is a bridge of possibility, and if we're burning bridges, then it's like putting ourselves on an island with absolutely no help or a way out. So always be nice to everybody, because you know what, we might need those people later down the road, and you know what, they might need us later down the road. It's not who you know, or it's not what you know, it's who you know. So to be able to help others help themselves, and us uniting, so because we have so many people that have been in a fog and a haze for a very long time, so we have these people still making choices. But with the alcohol and drugs, it's just like if they were trying to get away, people would come after them and kill them. So now, more than anything, we need like a witness protection program, because I know so many people that want to get out and just can't, or I know people that know secrets about the cops, and it's just a collection of stuff over the years that have been keeping us oppressed. And we are not thriving, nor have we ever been. Our people are dying. It's not the genocide now, but it's the drugs and alcohol. And it is hard to see that my brothers and sisters out there are still lost. And I just, you know, we need homes. We need safe places. We need loving, caring people to help us. Just facilities so people could come, rest, eat. A safe place where they can see their own future. We help them find their own purpose by, I don't know, music, through art. We were very talented Aboriginal people. We had sight. We were gifted with so many gifts. but it's like our central nervous system, our bodies are, and our minds are so bombarded by so many things that we don't have that luxury to be in our own space to pursue any of those, because we are lost. Most of us are lost. So, I don't know. Those are my thoughts on like who we are now. My heart is so big, and it's like, if I succeed, you succeed, and if I fail, you fail. But our behavioral patterns through residential school has been carried on. It's just a new set of obstacles in our way that keep us from having the life that we deserve. It's like we're being kept in a box and away from everybody, and it's the environment. It's almost like a controlled environment. Like I know of so many people who've never even left this reserve, and like my wish for them is to be able to do what I did over the summer, like the visual purpose and going on a canoe. Like I got a chance to go with Neil Russell and went on a Northern Quest to Tribal Journeys 2017. Just being in that, just being around so many spiritual people, meeting genuine people, just filled my heart with so much medicine. So yeah, so maybe that is the goal, is not be up here, but to start feeling from my heart, to start helping our spirits mend, helping our broken spirits collect itself. It takes a spirit to heal the spirit, says my uncle Randy Adams. So our medicine is love. Our medicine is this land. It's like our inheritance, and just imagine the freedom that we have once we can just live the life that we need to, just buy a house. And it's like we look after the chickens, we look after our own resources, our own food, because that takes time. And at the end of the day, we all share a meal together, and I don't know, it's a way of living. We don't need jobs out there when we have everything that we need here. So, yeah, it's 23 minutes, 3 seconds. But anything is possible. Anything is possible through Christ. And that's who helps me get through. And it's like seeing visions of a better way of living, or like the ancestors and guardian angels. Like, it is real. You just have to believe. There is a higher consciousness of everything that we've gone through. It's almost like stages. It's like, I guess I've seen my whole life as a childlike perspective, and just kind of feel like a victim and feeling powerlessness. But once I started believing myself and forgiving those people who hurt me, it made my world bigger. So I don't know, it's being an adult and having responsibilities and taking ownership. And yeah, because my actions have consequences, so it leaves the impact on those around me. So I had to learn how to not take my bitterness out on other people, which is what I did, especially my exes. So I see how us women and us men can be breaking down those that we are with, because we don't know how to love ourselves. So family intervention is our family. We take in our cousins, nieces, and we just show them how a healthy relationship should be. and how to control our emotions, because honestly, we weren't ever taught that either. So, it's like a broken home is it's like a broken child, right? So that is the vicious pattern of that I've seen. And then we just accept life for what it is, and I don't know. It's like our path's right here, and here we're way over here. Just like we're not even with each other to know what is right, what is wrong. We're just doing our own thing, and we have to do what we need to do to survive. But the more of us work together, all our needs could be provided for as a whole for our people. And through teamwork and effort, strategic planning, we all could be working, but we could be working towards a goal, a future. So, it's redirecting our energies into something far greater than ourselves that would actually help us heal ourselves, and we can teach our children the right way. And yeah, big hopes, big dreams. But share with me your opinions too, because surely I'm not the only one that's gone through a spiritual awakening. And from what I understand, is other people had a spiritual awakening a long time ago too, and when something happened, and then they ended up closing back in. But I believe that they can blossom again, provided the right conditions. So we all need love, we all need a safe place, we all need there's a room to grow, to go inwards, so we can come out into the world stronger, with a stronger knowing. So having faith and believing in God, a life everlasting. So peace of mind, peace of heart, peaceful spirit. So these are what I believe in. And love transforms everything. It can make the most coldest heart just the most tender, caring. So undoing the past is just helping somebody. It's just like pay it forward. A little kind action could really change somebody's day. So, and I will tell you now, a lot of us are struggling right now. We have all these houses, well, on reserve, and we have all these lines going through, power lines. We have the railroad tracks, and like, where are the royalties to that? Hey, we have the highways going through our land. You know what? That disrupted our ecosystem. This is our ecosystem. So yes, our enemies out there, and we got to start protecting ourselves, our land, our way. And we can have fun. We can get into tourism. I want to do the tribal journeys 2017, but not on ocean, but on land. We can create our own trails. We can create our own awesome little huts. It's just enjoying the better part of life, and shame on the government for keeping us like this and keeping us sick when we have everything that we need. It's just more love. We just need more love. There's a way. There is a way. So don't lose hope. But we need a big movement of our people, so that way our children could grow up in the environment that they need, because they need us. Otherwise, they're going to face life like we had, and we know how hard this life is. So we pull together for our kids. We create the systems. It's not one person in control of everything, but we, the people, have a say in everything that goes down. So rebuilding our houses. So I'm from Wilpskuksen, and there's like Skagamaha. That's what I mean. Is from the youngest to the oldest, from the oldest to the youngest. It's a line. It's like getting our ducks in a row. So whatever we learn, our kids learn, and that's how, like, our mothers are our first teachers. So we learn how to cook from them. We learn how to be from them. So helping our women be stronger and pull them into a much greater cause, that creates a system within a system. So peace, love, and light. Take care.